What's the gossip?
Gossip in the Grove.
What's the gossip?
Gossip in the Grove.
What's the gossip?
Hello and welcome to Gossip in the Grove. Today's special guest is Jean Leavell, current city council member and a past mayor. Welcome, Jean. And of course, we got Scarlett, our co-host, and I'm your host, Tracy Cunningham. So we are going to talk about all things history with Miss Jean. So whatever you can tell us, I do have some questions. So you just, stop me whenever you.
Okay, I
Okay.
will.
We're going to say, okay, so tell us about the founding of Oak Grove and how did it get started from Oak Grove?
Okay, Oak Grove was incorporated in 1974. Mayor Jack Elliott, his brother, Buddy Elliott, Miss Sandy Lyons, Miss Alice Lyons, and some of the other, Mr. Burns Riggins, some of the others, they just got together and did an incorporation. The first 2 years, Jack Elliott was considered chairman of the board because the first election was in 1976.
Okay.
That was the first election, and that's whenever he was actually elected mayor
And he was mayor for a long time, wasn't
for
he?
19 years.
For 19 years. Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah.
And so, how did Oak Grove get its name? Do you?
Well, Oak Grove has been Oak Grove since 18 something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the 1800s.
It was Oak Grove, right up, just past where the main entrance going into the gaming center,
Mm-hmm.
across from.
It used to be called Camp Campbell, wasn't it?
Camp Campbell.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
1945.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Campbell.
I remember reading something about that.
But anyway, there was no railroad track that came from Garrettsburg, Cadiz,
Mhm.
Garrettsburg, and all, and it crossed right near where the gaming center
Mhm.
is, and went on to Clarksville, and that little section there was considered Oak Grove.
Oh, wow. Wow. And I know that there was, do you remember seeing, it was a small little post office in Oak Grove, but they moved it on the Tennessee side? The first post office that was in Oak Grove. Do you know anything about
I
that?
don't know anything about that.
Yeah, I was reading something about there was this small little post office, and it was actually Oak Grove's first little post office, and it was put on the Tennessee side, and the Tennessee took it over. So I was like, that was interesting, because that would have been an actual really cool tourist thing of an old post office that was the very first in Oak Grove.
The only thing I can remember hearing about the post office was it was in with the something happened about the same time Fort Campbell
Mm-hmm.
was created,
Okay.
and it might have been
Maybe then.
removed and
Yeah.
eliminated that
Yeah.
time, but I don't remember
Yeah.
even a building
Yeah.
being
I think the
discussed.
building is actually on 41A going into Clarksville, and it's in that medium.
Now that was the old stagecoach stop. for
Was that a
Clarksville.
stagecoach stop? Yeah. Okay. Well, see, I didn't know that.
It was a stagecoach stop. Excuse me. There was no stagecoach stop there, and they put it into a post office and kind of a welcome
See, that's what
center.
it is. Yeah, that's what it was. And it should have been on the Oak Grove side, Kentucky side, but it was on Tennessee side. So what do you say how Fort Campbell has shaped Oak Grove? What would you say the presence of Fort Campbell?
I don't think it would be Oak Grove without Fort Campbell.
Yeah. I have to agree with that. I mean, I really do.
Yeah, it's started out with a few landowners, and they just put together some trailers and started renting them as the soldiers came in, and I'm pretty sure probably in the 60s when some of this took place,
Yeah.
as getting the soldiers renting them out, and it just grew from there. But most definitely, Fort Campbell shaped Oak Grove.
Oh yeah, I have to agree. I don't think we would even be here if it wasn't.
And I still
For Oak Grove.
think it has the biggest impact on us.
Yeah, yeah, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Fort Campbell. I mean, definitely. So when did Oak Grove start to see major growth or population booms? Since you've been here for so how many years have you been here? You've been living in Oak Grove for how long?
1976.
Okay. So what do you think the population growth is from there to now?
It was incorporated with 600 people.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was incorporated with somewhere around 600 people.
Wow.
And now we're almost to 8,000.
Yeah. Yeah. And then love it. So yeah, and then the businesses started coming in and it just kind of grew and flourished and
Yeah, there was several laundries that I remember. Eagle Laundry there.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I really miss is Midway Department Store.
You told me about that. I cannot even wrap my head around that Oak Grove had a department store.
Yeah.
And it was and evidently Jean said it was big and it was nice and they just left.
Well, the state had some things to do with that too.
Oh, okay. I mean, we need a department store here, Jean.
It was fantastic. I did, but
Make it happen.
Make it happen, Jane. Make it happen.
The first few years that I was here, that's the only place I shopped.
And they had a little bit of everything, didn't they?
They had a little bit of
Yeah.
everything.
So you got questions for, I'm sure, Scarlett.
Yeah. So I know we kind of talked about like Oak Grove, how the name, and it was already considered Oak Grove. So like before it was actually established as like a city as Oak Grove, like what was this area like kind of used for? What was it even about?
Agriculture.
Oh, okay. Well,
It was
simple answer.
basically agriculture.
Yeah.
Okay.
What were the biggest challenges Oak Grove has faced on historically or anything?
The biggest
challenge
is utilities infrastructure. It has been a problem since day one, you might say.
Is it just the upgrades or is it?
It's the upgrades. It's the fact that for years we did not, I hate to use this word, but politic for any of the improvements as far as going to state, looking at working with our Pennyroyal ad department. Once the ad was established, working with ad to keep up with what's going on and getting them to work with us. And a lot of it was the fact that you had part-time people and people that were working other jobs and they just didn't have time to attend all the meetings. They didn't have time to go to the ad or go to the MPO meetings for our roads. It was probably 2000, somewhere along there before we started attending the MPO meetings in Clarksville. Because we are part of the metropolitan planning area,
Oh, I didn't even know that.
and which is out of Clarksville,
Okay.
out of Tennessee.
Ah.
And Kentucky's roads are started somewhere up around 1453, going on into Hopkinsville.
Gotcha.
And that's a big thing. When they start planning, if somebody from Kentucky in this area is not down there, guess what? We get down on the bottom of the list.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. I have
Because
to agree. Yeah.
just like 9/11, and that was put on the road plan in 2001 or 2002.
I remember
somewhere
when it was
there.
on the road plan and yeah, the Thompsonville 911.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was,
Road.
So from the time it got put on the road plan until construction started in 24, that's 24 years.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you have to stay on top of it and keep pushing. Contacting your legislature.
Yeah.
Our senator, our representatives, and our
And you have
physical court.
and you have them in your phone, don't you? You have their numbers.
I have a few of them.
So-
I even have a
So
folder of
you
them.
were mayor. You were mayor back in what year were you mayor?
99 through 2002.
So tell us a little bit about that. See, when you were the mayor there, and then all the changes now. So give us a little bit of history from then until now.
Well, city council or city hall and the city police department was about the size of a single car garage, sitting on a little square right next to where the fire department is located now.
Really?
Yes, and that's the city council chambers was in a little attached room to the old fire department, which was a laundromat run by Mr. Riggins, because he washed the clothes for Fort Campbell, all the linens.
laundry. Okay.
He ran the laundry for that, and they built a little room on the side of the fire department once the laundry went away, and it was bought and used for a volunteer fire department. And it was about the size of, a little bit bigger than this room. So,
Wow.
well, about the size of a one-car garage. They were kind of equal, the city hall, police department as one, and then the city hall, the council chambers.
So when you
across
got
the road.
when you got into being mayor, you were there first, right? And then you moved to Pembroke.
Highway 115.
Highway
Uh-huh.
115.
Yeah.
So you had that built. The
Yeah.
current city.
Yeah. Mayor Mace
Mhm.
had gotten things the ball kind of rolling as far as the financing, and then I was able to take it and move it forward to build a building.
So, and I know that. So tell us about how you saw the potential of Oak Grove. Tell me what you see and how you moving forward. Just like the walking trail, you can tell us a little bit about the walking trail, what you did.
Well, first of all, I'm gonna give credit to the council members I had.
Okay.
I had some fantastic council members. They gave ideas. They discussed the ideas, and they brought it forward. They didn't. I'm not going to take all the credit because I sure didn't have that. And just like the tourism, Mayor Mace got tourism started. Number one with the restaurant tax got passed because I was on his council, and we passed the restaurant.
See, I didn't know that you were on a council before mayor.
Oh yeah,
I did not know that. That's something.
I was on 5 year council with 5 years
I
with
did not-
Mayor Mace.
I did not know that, Jean.
Yeah,
Wow. Okay. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
long time.
Yeah. Wow. So, because that was in '86.
Yeah.
Tourism in '86. Yeah. And you being a big tourism supporter, you wanted to see the growth as well.
I
and,
wanted to see something
yeah,
happen.
Yeah.
Because tourism, they got it started,
Mhm.
and let's see, Mayor Mace was 94 through 98.
Yeah, because we got the restaurant tax in '94.
4.
Yeah.
So he got that started and got the commission put together.
Mhm.
And they just talked, they were going to do this, they were going to do that. So we were able to buy the front part over here, and I think it's approximately 25 acres.
It is.
Up front.
It is. Mhm.
And we got that, and it sat there and sat there. And one of the commission members, he and his wife, Brandy Pierce and Irmy Pierce, and I came out one Saturday, and we put our boots on, and away we went through the woods.
Yeah.
We
A lot of
walked.
people don't know that out there it was all nothing
It
but.
was a jungle.
Oh, it was. It was so bad.
It was a jungle.
It was a jungle.
And so we decided, look, it's time to do something rather than just spend money and not see anything accomplished. So we walked the outer edge perimeter. Well, I say outer edge. We walked zigzag through it. And we kind of come to the conclusion that the best thing we do is just make the walking trail on the complete outer edge of the property, and put some monuments on it. And one idea kind of took hold, and we went from there.
Yeah. Because I do remember all of that. I mean, I was when I became the director, I had the history of what all that, and I thought that was really interesting. And then so when the commission decided to improve this whole area, they cut down a lot of the trees and had to remove a lot of the trees because at one time it was not you weren't comfortable walking around there because it was so much.
There was so much.
There was so much.
It was a little scary, especially late afternoon or something like that when a lot of people want to walk.
Yeah, exactly. So and then
the opportunity became available. The landowners offered the city this next section of property, and the council decided, okay, yep, that's a good idea. We'll buy it. So we stuck our neck out.
Bought it. And then the tourism bought it from you guys.
That's right. Tourism got it from the city.
So, and look at us now. Look at the area now,
every time I come by, I marvel at it, and I think, well, I didn't have a lot to do with it.
But you
a
started
little
it. You
teeny
started
part of
the
it,
walking
and
trail.
I am so proud
and
of
you
it.
should be because you actually started that your vision. That was a vision that you had. But for years they didn't have a whole lot in Oak Grove.
We had
nothing.
We had nothing. We had a small little park up behind the fire station.
Yeah.
And it was
Small.
It was not a whole lot. Just a swing set and a slide, and which is you can't even use anymore. So,
but you guys are upgrading Wade's Way now. You guys are.
We're working on upgrading the fire department park as well.
Oh, good.
Do something up there.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's very good. Yeah, because we have how many? We've got our park, the fire department park, and Wade's Way. There's three, right?
Yeah, there's a little small one behind the community center.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I totally forgot about the community center. They do have it.
There's a lot of people.
You didn't know that?
There's a lot of people.
There's a lot of people don't even realize that there is.
It was up there a long time before.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, there's a little park, and it's Jackson, my grandson, loved it. He didn't want to get off that swing. He didn't want to get off the doggone slide. Oh, he loved it when we took up there for the I can't remember what last year was. Last August, it was they had the fire department, they had the school that all that. So I took Jackson up there, and he did not want to leave that park. And it's a cute park. It's a nice park. So I don't think people realize that it's back there.
Yeah, it's a good play structure.
Yeah, it is.
And it's got some picnic tables.
Yep. Yep.
So
Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
I will say they need to be upgraded.
Upgrade, yeah. Yeah, we just had our ground. We had to replace the ground because we were, they said, you got to do that, to be the legal and the official thing. So we had to remulch it and stuff. Ours did. So, but that's, it's okay as long as everybody's safe,
Yeah.
So tell us what else. What else is there history-wise that you were the mayor for the very first flood, weren't you?
No.
No?
No. Bobby
Wasn't
Reese
it-
was. It was in 97.
97 flood. Okay. I know. So what was it that, because Dennis will always tell me that he has the utmost respect for Gene because one time he was out here and you got out there, you were mayor, I think, and something happened, I can't remember what it was, but you were out there in the middle of the night going through and just checking on businesses, checking on everybody, and just, you had your, so what was that?
It was a tornado.
That was a tornado.
In 99.
That was the tornado, yeah.
It came across Fort Campbell,
Yeah.
and it tore down, it blew down part of Brex,
Yeah.
which is the U.S. Patriot now.
Yeah.
It blew that down in the part of the building that was next door, and it just kind of
Yep.
went across.
Yeah, he said that she was out there assessing everything, just wouldn't go to sleep until, you wouldn't go back to, you just did it. And I was like, yeah. I said, yeah, I believe it. I believe it. You remember those days, don't you?
Yeah.
And she was a big part of the 50-year celebration too, from
Oh,
74
yeah.
to 2004. We with the steering committee, so she was yeah. Without her, I mean, she had so much history too, and Janet too. I mean, the pictures
Yeah,
and all
the
that
pictures,
stuff.
yeah.
You know, I was like, that's so and it worked out really well.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow, of course, we have the time
The
capsule,
unveiling.
the unveiling
Of the
of,
marker.
of the marker and stuff. I think that's going to be really cool. So, okay, tell us anything else. Come on, talk to us. And I know that you still have some questions for.
Well, I'm kind of just soaking it up because I don't really, I'm not from Oak Grove, so I don't know as much of the history as you guys. So I'm kind of just soaking up and trying to think of like what else I could ask that would like, spark a good conversation.
So, what would you like to see come to Oak Grove, and different things, or what is your vision?
I would like to see a couple more restaurants that it's kind of you might say family friendly to be here, because you go to Clarksville and you see so many of Oak Grove residents in Clarksville. It doesn't matter which restaurant you go to.
Yep.
I know everybody kept hollering Cracker Barrel, Cracker Barrel. Well, Cracker Barrel has I guess you might call it a directive. You don't put Cracker Barrels except so many miles apart
Yeah, I was gonna
from
say
each other.
the one in Clarksville's really close. It's only like two.
And then they
two
have one in Katie's.
things up.
It's 9 miles,
Yeah, there you go.
And then they have one in Katie's.
Yeah.
and that's 25 miles.
Yeah. So.
So they probably won't do that. And there were several others that has looked at Oak Grove, but at the same time, they said we don't have enough residents, because in most businesses, and I would say probably 90% of the businesses, they cannot take into consideration Fort Campbell
They
residents.
don't.
They cannot.
They don't.
It's-
I'm like,
yeah.
we're hometown of Fort Campbell. There's a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
people.
But Fort
But they don't
Campbell's
see-
like its own thing, and
It's
because
like its own little
they-
city is what
yeah,
they
and
call it,
because
yeah.
they like come and go too. I guess maybe that.
Yeah.
Which
yeah.
doesn't make any sense
It,
because
they take it in. They do not take it into consideration for roads. They don't take it into consideration for businesses. I mean, for just like Walmart, it took forever to get Walmart to look at Oak Grove, because they
and look at them
and-
now. They're booming. I mean, it's like
yeah. Where else are they gonna go
Yeah.
buy groceries?
Yeah.
In Oak Grove.
yeah.
In fact, that was one thing I worked on with Walmart Realty, and they said we just didn't have the residential counts. I said, but we're right on state line. We have Clarksville residents, and they turned it right around on me and said, but you have Fort Campbell, and those soldiers and all can go shop on post.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not wrong. They're not
Well,
wrong.
they're not wrong. But
It's
at
like a
the
city
same
on
time,
there.
yeah, at the same time,
Yeah, because they have the PX, which for all the shopping,
Yeah.
yeah.
and they have the commissary for all the food things you want.
But you know what? They don't just shop on post though.
No,
I
they
mean,
don't.
they I feel like they almost more shop off post than they do on post. Like I see them all the time at Walmart.
Yeah.
I would love like a retail.
I would like to see a retail. In fact, I was really excited whenever the lady came and started talking about the retail up here,
Yeah.
and I don't know what happened.
I was gonna say, what happened to all of that with the retail?
The only thing I know is money involvement.
Because I've been here 21 years now, and that was when I first started. Lucia.
Yeah.
When she started. I don't know what happened to that one, but I mean, I have somebody that had already talked to her, reached out to her, so there may be something, down the
Down the road.
down the
Yeah.
road or whatever. So,
But
we'll
we
see.
want it now.
We do want it now, don't we? We
Like
just want it
overnight,
right now.
just
we want
put it in
right
and
just
now.
do it
to
now.
us. We
Let's
want
get-
it right now.
Yeah, let's get it over with. Do it now and be through with it.
Yeah, you've been a big part of Oak Grove. I mean, you know a lot. Like the Bobby Mace? He has that museum.
Yes, the golf.
And I've been trying to get a hold of him because I think it would be an amazing tourism attraction if he would open it up to visitors. Because I heard it was amazing.
It is.
Fill me in, because I don't know
Te-
about this
tell-
museum.
Tell
Okay.
Jean, tell her. It's
Mayor Mace
Okay.
has a fantastic collection. He's a Gulf oil buff.
Okay.
And he has got oil cans. He sold his truck, his oil truck
Okay.
that had Gulf all over it. He sold that, but inside the museum, I can't tell you all the things that's in that area.
And it all has to do with golf.
Gulf
Not-
oil and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the oil, like your gas stations and all that.
Yeah.
Like did he
Sign-
work for it, or did
No.
he just is a big like?
He was just. It started out as a big Gulf
Huh.
oil signs and
Yeah. I've called him.
Started
I've
as a
left a message
collection.
and said, hey, what's a possibility that, because he can charge like maybe $5 just, to get in, but open it up as a museum.
Yeah.
So, because that's a big.
What does he do now?
That
Like-
is a big attraction, or because his wife, I think his wife is there too, right?
Yeah.
So his wife can actually run it or open it up, and it doesn't have to be every day. The museum can be Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, or Monday, Tuesday. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just
something,
at certain hours. Yeah.
hours that I can get people and say, okay, here, go to this. It's open this day, And are you really good friends with him?
Yeah, I hope so.
Would you like to talk to him and ask him?
I will be glad to
Oh, I
contact.
love you, Gene. I love you. Thank you.
So is this like museum like in his house?
It's
in a garage.
It's amazing, Scarlett. I'm telling you.
How can I see it, or like?
Yeah,
is it
well, you can
not-
drive through it, but I mean, if they have to be home for,
Right.
have to talk to him, say, hey, can we go in your museum? But
Well, I don't know him at all. So
it's
he's not gonna
so
be like,
cool. It's so cool, and Jean, if you can make that happen for me, so if you can make that happen, Jean,
I will get in touch with
yeah,
Mr.
because I would, because we were going to put him in our brochure if I got a hold of him, because we're redoing our brochure.
It was on the tour.
I know. That's what I was saying. The 50-year, yeah.
I wish
It
I
was
would
on
have
the
gone to
tour.
the dang tour.
Yeah, yep. And he dropped everybody off, and everybody toured the museum. How big is that museum?
It's basically the size of two.
Big
Garages.
Yeah, yeah. I'm telling you, that's why I said when I found out about that, because I didn't even know about that until
And
the
this is just
50-year anniversary thing that we did.
stuff he's collected.
Yes, over the
It's
years,
just
and it's
his personal collection.
yeah, and it would be an amazing type of. I mean, everybody calls it a museum because that's what it is, because it's so many different
Right.
things in there.
Right.
Yeah, so I mean, it's unique for Oak Grove.
It is.
So Jean can make that happen. Make that happen, Jean.
I'll try to get in touch with him and see,
Perfect.
and put him in touch with you.
Yes, please.
I'll be the middleman.
You be the middleman. You be the middleman. You start it, I'll close it. But yeah, that's what I said. I was like, so is there any other area that we don't know about that is interesting or that people should know about in Oak Grove? I heard about a cave.
Yeah, I heard that too.
I heard about a cave.
Yeah, there's a cave.
Yeah.
Is there something that can be done with that cave?
Because
that's kind of a big thing.
that's a big
People
thing.
love
People
caves.
love to.
Well, it's been discussed about cleaning it up and out to get
Yeah.
people to have access to the entrance.
Is it a long cave?
I don't know. I haven't been in it, and I don't intend to go in it.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't do caves?
I know people that has been in it, and they say it comes out
Where?
a pretty good distance.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, this is so exciting.
Would you like to do a cave tour? Miss Jean will tell you where it's at.
I hold a sign and say that way.
That way.
We get our flashlights together,
enter
Lee.
at your own risk. So I wonder if it's tall enough for people to walk. Is it? Or is it? We're gonna have to figure this out. We're gonna.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we don't want to say where it's at, but I have a feeling we know where it's at. So we may have to go and take a look-see, and let's see if
Yeah.
we can clean this cave out.
Yeah, that could
And
be a
do
big
something.
thing.
That could
Caves
be a
are
very
super
big thing.
popular.
Is there any like old houses that once was like, had any history to it?
Well, the Noose Bomber Farm
Okay.
house over on 115 up near State Line Road,
Okay.
right on the corner of
Uh-huh.
State Line and 115. They just tore it down last week.
Did they?
Oh.
This last storm that came through, the big storm
Yeah.
that came through, it tore the roof off of it.
Hmm.
And the people that owned it evidently didn't have the funds to restore it or get it back up.
So
In
how?
fact, they've tore down even the small house that was on the corner of the lot there.
Really? How many acres is that?
I think 14, 15 acres.
I think I remember seeing that big house because when we were on doing the filming commission, they were asking for certain houses to come in and film. And I went and toured and I said, that house, because it would be like a scary movie or whatever. And I said, that house would be really good. And I tried to figure out who owned that house. And I had no idea of who owned the house. But needless to say, they didn't come here to film. But that was one thing. It looked very scary. That house looked, like
It was.
scary. Like it would be haunted.
When,
It might have been.
It might have been haunted.
when Mr. and Ms. Stokes lived there, it was kind of scary then, too.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, because I heard there is some history about some haunted stuff, like the graveyards and stuff, and some of the old buildings, are on Oak Grove,
Yeah.
and that there is some hauntings going on, maybe. And then, of course, Ghost Bridge is a big one that we're starting to do. You know what? Because the steering committee, we talked about what we're going to do at the steering committee about that, about doing
Well,
tours.
It's a shame that that bridge got tore down.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Original one.
The original one.
Yeah.
It did. But hey, I mean, it's still there. It's still
But the
located there.
history
The
is
history
still
is still
there,
there
you know.
on that bridge. So,
A
yeah.
lot of history on that bridge.
Yeah. So you probably know more. You probably know more than anybody on that bridge, don't you? So what have
Yeah,
you
tell us
heard
about that
Yeah,
history.
tell us about that history on that bridge.
Oh, golly bum, the history on that bridge. Soldier killed his wife and threw her over. A man drove in it in his old car.
Drove in it. Drove
Yeah,
off
drove
the.
off
Like over the bridge?
Oh.
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 Uh,
And wasn't
they
there,
used to use it as a swimming hole at night.
Was this after the killing of the?
I don't know.
Because I don't know that I would want to swim.
well, you know what's
Somebody dumped their,
It's
you
so,
know.
you know what's so interesting? It's
Because it's right up the
Yeah,
creek from
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And
was-
you know what's so like you said about the car driving off the. What if this car that was driving saw something on the bridge, and instead of hitting that something, turned and drove off?
Could have.
I mean,
I
you
don't
know,
know.
you never know.
Yeah, I mean, you never know.
You never know.
You can't know because
It's like recently that motorcycle, that soldier,
Yeah,
he died on the bridge.
yeah,
I don't know
Wait,
if he was-
what?
yeah,
Yeah, this was recent.
yeah.
Like 2 years
Yeah.
ago,
hmm
something like that.
Yeah.
And I told Lee, I said, maybe he thought that he saw something because it was at dark. It was late at night, and I thought maybe he saw something and didn't want to hit it and
Well,
crashed.
I'm gonna tell
know?
you, it's scary
Yeah.
going through that
Oh,
little
yeah.
area at
Yeah.
night.
that area
Yeah.
I do know. I do know that area.
Lee knows that area.
Do you have any artwork left on the bridge?
I don't.
Oh no, I never tagged the bridge.
Yeah, me either.
Everyone else in the city did.
Yeah. And the visitors apparently. There's a lot of signatures on there.
They need to clean that up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Clean that
you know, if you clean it up, it takes away the.
Yeah.
It does.
The
It takes away
mystique.
I,
Yeah.
You're right. You're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I kind of like the artwork. It gives it more of like a scary, like, you know, like an abandoned type feel.
Oh,
But
yeah.
the other bridge, it was an old iron frame bridge, and with wooden boards on it. And when you drove across it, it went. and it shook.
That's how it was when
So
I
that
always
was-
went to go see my grandma in Ohio. That was a kind of a bridge that we would cross from one into another. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be scary
And
day
then
or night.
my wooden planks would just
Ooh,
pop
no.
up.
Absolutely not. So that's crazy. I was like,
Oh, I can only imagine.
Like, get me out of here.
yeah, because we were like, yeah, what else could we, what else is a little haunted area over there? And I mean, Oak Grove does have some that I was really surprised that they've got a little bit of some areas over. Scarlett, you have any other questions for
I
her?
have a question. Are there any I would say maybe hidden gems in Oak Grove that maybe even some of the residents may not know about, but definitely visitors don't know about that you know of that you'd want to share?
What do you consider a hidden gem?
Something that is not really known that's really cool. I mean, obviously there's the museum and the cave, but is there anything that's really cool that maybe people don't really know about or think about that they may want to know about?
But yeah, Charlie's Steakhouse.
I
I
know.
miss it so much.
Lee, you remember Charlie's?
remember.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh, Charlie's.
In fact, I still have a couple of the blocks.
Mhm.
Wow.
Have you been to their new place when they opened in Springfield? Tortino's?
No,
It's Charlie's.
is it?
It's Charlie's. They even had the cow sign. They
Yeah,
even
I was gonna say,
took
that's
that.
what I remember, the big
Yeah, the big cow.
sign.
They
Yeah.
brought the cow. The cow sign survived the fire,
Wow.
Yeah.
so they moved it. So yeah, they're there.
That's cool.
Well, why didn't they come back here?
I'm not sure. I couldn't tell you why they didn't come back, but we tried to.
I think the fact that they already owned the building in Springfield.
That makes sense.
And here, they would have, well, actually, they didn't own the building.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah.
and it might have been a little conflict there that the man that owned that property didn't want to get involved in building it back or whatever.
I heard it was very pricey too. That lot
Yes.
was going to be really, really pricey. But you would have people lined up, just to get in. That's how good the steaks were.
Cold,
Oh, so good.
hot,
You didn't
rainy,
They were right there.
snow.
They were right there, lined up all the way down by the parking lot, just to get in.
Wow.
Just to get in. It was really good. So we went to Tortino's a couple of times, and it's still the Charlie steaks. It tastes just. I mean, everything they have. It's the Charlie's menu is right there, and they do that and Italian. They'll do Italian too. So it's good food, but it's a drive, and it's a little pricey, but it's Charlie's. So
Well, you can go anywhere and it's pricey anymore
Yeah,
if you're
that's
going to eat
true.
a steak.
that's true.
That's very true.
That is very true. That is very, very true. Okay, well we're gonna
And the
be.
pawn shops.
Oh,
at one
yeah.
time
Oh,
we
you guys had-
14
you had,
pawn
I was
shops
gonna say we had a lot of
Whoa.
pawn shops here.
14
14
at one time.
at one time.
Wow, people really wanted to sell their stuff, huh?
So we're down to how many? We don't even have zero. Any? Do we? We don't even have any.
And of course, the man that owned Charlie's Steakhouse owned Hard-Hearted Hannah's and Soft-Hearted Sam's pawn shop.
Oh,
I remember hearing that there was a soft-hearted Sam.
It's right across where Gate 4.
Yeah.
It's where the shoe repair
Yeah.
shop is.
Okay.
That was where that one was.
Okay. That's 14. That's crazy.
Yeah. Some of them are not very big, but
Yeah. That's crazy. Wow. Okay, well, we're going to be right back. And we're back. This time with Lee with news and gossip of the week.
It's Gossip in the Grove with all the latest news and info.
All right, ladies, how's it going?
It's good, good,
Good.
good.
Good. So, this is from the Oak Grove community chat, of
Okay.
course. The State Line Road, this was posted 5 hours ago.
Okay.
State Line Road at the railroad crossing will be closed due to traffic starting on June 2nd through June 16th. Please travel through Pembroke Oak Grove Road to Fort Campbell Boulevard. Motorists will need to use Thompsonville Lane or Walter Garrett Lane.
Okay.
So yeah, just wanted to pick everybody up on that. And once again, the Oak Grove Community Center, they have been showing out. They've been doing a lot for the community.
Good.
Rode past there, what was it, like a week ago? I seen a bunch of food trucks and stuff like that. So, and I heard they were feeding the community. All you had to do was show proof of identification
Right.
that you are from Oak Grove.
Did you get you some food?
I did, of course. You know me. Of course. Had to stop by and get a plate. But yeah, they were feeding the community.
Nice.
So yeah, just wanted to throw that in there as well because
And we really appreciate it too.
yes,
Yeah, we do.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
They just cleared out the flooded area on
Man-o-War, right?
Man-o-War.
Yeah.
Yes, they just did it.
Yeah.
They posted a picture yesterday. I'll be releasing that as well. And that's all I got for right now.
That's all the news and
All the news
That's
and-
all you got, Lee.
all I got.
That's all you got.
But
There's no gossip.
But they are still pumping water out of that area.
They
Okay,
are.
yeah.
They're
Okay.
pumping. They're still pumping water at a Lake Wonderfield because I drove by and
Lake Wonderfield. Okay, is this your gossip on Lake
Yes.
Wonderfield?
Yes,
What?
it's like the official name.
Is
that's
that really?
not
that is
official.
what
Okay.
they
That's
stamped
what
it.
they're calling
okay.
it.
I saw a truck and a trailer had the big water tanks, and it looked like they were filling up each water tank.
Wow.
Yes, that's how bad it is.
Well, I know that Lillian Avenue is really bad. What's the status on that one?
Well, it will be pumped from the pumping areas that they're pumping now.
Okay. And I know I'm going to say this again. What's going on with our Denny's? It's so. I mean, they've been
It-
closed for a month.
I know, and it's
oh, because of the flood.
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
that
there's
water
That and
flooded.
Flying J has been
Yeah,
closed
'cause
for a month.
That intersection is still.
It's. I mean,
super
there's
flooded.
still the
Yeah.
parking lot's still underwater.
And people
Yeah.
are still driving through that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They said we're not gonna wait any longer.
But yeah, I was like, because I know it's private property. I know that. So, but I thought, can they get a pump and pump that out? But where's that going to
where's
go?
it gonna go?
Yeah, I was like, but then where's it going to go? You know,
Yeah.
and it's going to take forever to dry up. I mean, it's.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
it's pretty
just
bad.
like Auburn Drive. I believe it's Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
They're in front of the hotel
Yeah.
and McDonald's. That water over that road
Is that still there too?
it's still there
Mm.
too.
So what about the Wonder Truck? It's still under?
It's got to be there. It's got to be.
I mean,
That
oh my
truck-
God, that poor truck! It's got to be there.
I think that truck has made it on every episode we've had. We've had 10 episodes. And let me tell you,
the Wonder Truck is still. Wonder what happened. Wonder where it's at. Wonder who it belongs to.
wonder if it's still there.
Wonder if it's still
Wonder,
there.
wonder if it floated off
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah, it might have.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, the current could have been so strong, it's probably not at the same spot anymore.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
You know, who knows?
Yeah.
But
It's crazy.
yeah, that is crazy. And I still haven't heard word on anybody pulling it out or anything like that. So
It's still somewhere in
Yeah.
there.
it is.
Nobody
she's
wants
with
to
me.
claim it. Nobody wants.
Yeah,
to claim
nobody's
it,
coming to
you
claim
know?
it.
They're embarrassed. I would be embarrassed, you know. But that's what I got for right now. They're still pumping water out of Lake Wonderfield.
Yep.
It
Well, in
does.
fact, excuse me.
No, go ahead.
This morning, I saw a independent, I don't know whether it's a farmer or what, had
Okay.
a truck and trailer backed in there
That-
filling up a tanker
That's what
on
I'm talking
his,
about. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
okay.
Yes, she saw it too. Jean's with me on this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not a gossip. It's
No,
official.
that's official.
That's official.
That is
Okay.
official. Yeah. So I saw it too, and I'm sure most Oak Grove residents have seen it. Like, how many times they're gonna have to go back and forth to fill up those tanks?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know, but
As many
Yeah.
times as it takes.
as many
I
times as
guess.
it takes, I guess.
Hey,
So.
they can have all the water they want.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can keep that water. It doesn't smell too good. Cause I was driving on my motorcycle. I looked at it and I was like, oh, it looks really beautiful. But I smelled the air and I was like, ooh. Let me go home. Let me pass that. But that's all I got for Gossip in the Grove news and info.
Thank you, Lee.
No
And I
problem.
guess until next week, we will see our next guest. I'm not sure who that's going to be, but I will figure it out, and then we'll be back. We'll be back next week with our next special guest. Thank you.
What's the gossip?
Gossip in the Grove.
Bye.